It's been on my list for a very long time to talk about this game, and I was trying to think of a rack of the week for this week that's not straight pool. And I was like, why not show this in a rack of the week? So let's do it. What I wanted to show you is the game called Stymie. Some of you know what I'm talking about, and if you do, leave a comment and let me know your experience with Stymie. Stymie is a great game to practice your speed control and control of both balls. You can play it solo by yourself as a practice game. You can play it against one opponent. Most commonly, it's a ring game from 3 to 6 people. You can go broke faster playing Stymie than any other game ever invented. And the reason why is, if you don't win the game, you pay every other person in the ring game who has scored better than you. Let me explain the game to you. Typically, this game is played on a snooker table. We used to play it on a 10-foot snooker table, but you can play it on a 12-foot snooker table. You can play it on a pool table, which is what I'm going to show you. It's much easier on a pool table, but that's good if you're training your speed control. This is excellent for speed control of the object ball and the cue ball at the same time. Okay, what is Stymie? The goal of Stymie is each person gets their own ball. So I shoot the one ball. I'm going to play a simulated game. I'll play both opponents. So this is going to be a 2-player game. One player shoots the one ball. The other player is going to shoot the red ball. Okay. The goal is to pocket your ball in each of the 6 pockets on the table in order. So this is the foot spot. That means this is the 1 pocket. This is the 2, the 3, the 4, the 5, and the 6 hole or the out hole. So you need to pocket your ball in each of those pockets in order, according to the rules of the game. The opening shot is from off the spot. Each player has the table to themselves when they shoot. So I'm going to start the game from here. I have ball in hand in the kitchen, and my ball's on the foot spot. So I get 5 strokes to try and pocket my ball here. If I don't do it, it costs me 5. It costs 1 stroke per one point per stroke. So the goal of the game is to pocket your ball in all 6 pockets in the least number of strokes. So if so the best you can score is a 6. That would be the lowest possible score. So here what I want to do is bank the one ball to this pocket. And I'm trying to make it, but I need to make it with good speed control, because if I hit it hard and I miss it and the ball goes flying somewhere else, then I don't have a follow-up shot. So I have to shoot from where both balls stop. So, and I'm going to explain more to the rules after I shoot this shot. So what I'm going to do is bank the one ball to this pocket, but I don't want to straight in bank, because the rules require you to get the cue ball to touch a rail after the object ball on every single stroke. And that's not too much of a challenge on a pool table, but on a snooker table, it makes it really tough. So let me just demonstrate, and I'll explain a little bit more of the rules later. So my first shot, I don't want to be straight in. I want to cut it. So I want my cue ball to go to the bottom rail, side rail, and then the object ball is going to go this way. And if anything, I want to play it long, because if I play it short, then it could come over here and I might have a tougher shot. But if I play it long, then it could come here and stay in front of the pocket, and my cue ball will be over here. So if I don't make the bank shot, I can score a 2, which is a very low score. So let's see if I can get a 1 or possibly a 2 on this shot, on this inning rather. Okay, that's not too bad. That's perfect, because obviously I'm going to get a 2. Now, the first person to play the game, or the person who goes first has an advantage, because Now the cue ball is always played from where it rests. So I want to pocket the one ball and leave the cue ball somewhere to make it very difficult for my opponent. My opponent's is the red ball, and the red ball is going to go on the spot, and then my opponent has to pocket the red ball here with the same rules. So if I leave the cue ball just right here, what my opponent's going to do is bank the three ball one rail, and then the cue ball is going to go to the bottom, side rail, bottom rail. So they've got to get their speed control right of both balls to leave a follow-up shot if they don't make the bank. It can get out of, you might think 5 strokes is going to make it real easy. It can get out of control real quick. Like I said, you can lose money at this game faster than any other game, because if you mess up and you get a 5, your next inning, you're still going to that hole. And now your opponent's a hole ahead of you, so you're 5 strokes behind. It can get expensive quick. Very challenging game. Now, on a snooker table, you want to be careful because I have to get a rail. So if I try to hit this soft and I hit it too full and don't get a rail, if my ball goes in and I don't get a rail, I automatically score 5 and I still have to go to this pocket. So that's what makes it really hard. You have to make the ball and get the cue ball to a rail after you pocket the ball. So I might want to make things real difficult for my opponent, but I got to balance that against how easy is it going to be for me to get a rail. I might just not worry about what my opponent's going to have. So I need to make this ball not scratch. I'm going to go ahead and hit it on the right side so that the cue ball comes down a little bit. I don't want to risk scratching or not getting a rail. Okay, so yellow scored a 2. So let's mark that up on the counter. Yellow scored a 2. Now it's red's turn. Okay. So red is going to hole number 1. From here, it's a better shot to bank the red 2 rails. So I'll bank it 2 rails towards this pocket. Then the cue ball is going to come this way, and I want to get the cue ball to try to come out here a little bit. So if it doesn't go, I'll have a shot. So this is my first stroke. Now, if you accidentally pocket the ball in a pocket other than the one you're going for, that's an automatic 5, and it's your opponent's turn. Okay, so obviously I have an easy shot to pocket this ball. After I pocket this, the yellow ball comes on the spot, and my opponent, the yellow opponent, shoots from wherever the cue ball stops. So you can see if I pocket the 3 and leave the cue ball here, my opponent's going to have the same shot. They can just bank 2 rails and the same shot that I just shot for the 1 hole. So if you're feeling risky, you can try and leave the cue ball in a tougher spot. So I'm going to do that. I want to leave the cue ball in this over here on this rail, because there's going to be the 1 ball on the spot. If the cue ball's here, my opponent has to pocket it there. So maybe I'll be making it harder for my opponent. The risk is a thing can get out of control. I can scratch, or who knows what can happen. Or maybe trying to do something fancy with the cue ball might cause me to miss the shot. And then I'm on 2 strokes, and I'm still trying to get my ball in that pocket. But for sake of demonstration, let me go ahead and I'm going to play the cue ball over here. Let's see if I can get it there. And I missed the shot. Now, I'm okay. Obviously, I'm going to score a 3. But if this was a snooker table, that ball probably would have hit this round and come way over here. And I'd be in trouble. I would have had be on my 3rd stroke and the ball nowhere near the pocket. So this is much easier on a pool table, but you can see how easy it is to miss. And that wasn't worth it because my cue ball landed where it's real easy for my opponent. Okay. So now my yellow is going to 2. Yellow's going to 2, and I can pocket this ball. Now I'll try and bring the cue ball way down here. Okay. So now that was a 3 for red. So yellow has 2 and red has 3. Okay. From here, there's 2 things that yellow can do. I'm trying to pocket the ball here. So I can cut it thin and just hit it hard and bank it one rail, and the cue ball will just go back and forth. So the one ball should finish near the pocket, and the cue ball should be over here, and I should have a follow-up shot. The other thing that you can do, which I like, is to bank the yellow close to this pocket so it comes 3 rails. You can't make it the 3-rail bank, but as long as you get it over here and get the cue ball to this rail, you should have a good follow-up shot. So I'm going to try that one. Now I got to get the cue ball to a rail. That did not touch a rail. That's 5. My turn is over because I did not get a rail. This is an example. That's a good example of how this game can get out of control. And it's also a good example, if you're playing it by yourself, of the challenge is involved and how it can help you improve your control of 2 balls at the same time. So yellow gets a 5. So yellow now has 7. And it's red's turn. So the ball comes up, and this ball comes off the table. So that was really bad for yellow. Now red is going to the 2-hole. So the shot here is to bank it 2 rails out of the corner, cue ball to the side rail, and back here, and back to center table. That's terrible. And I made the ball. That's a 5. I haven't played this game in forever, and I jumped up on the shot and hit it bad. But you're getting a good taste of what the game's like. So now yellow has 8. So that was terrible or red has 8 because red just gave back their advantage. And the cue ball went in, so the 1 ball's on the spot, and this ball's here. So both opponents are still going to this pocket. Okay, so this is the same thing as the opening shot. Let's see if we can play better now, close out this game. So you can see how important speed control is too. I don't want the ball to be far from the pocket. So right here, I want to get my 2. I'm going to make sure to make the ball and get a rail, and I don't care where it stops for my opponent. I just want to make sure that I get a rail and pocket the ball. So yellow got a 2. Now they have 9. And now red is going to this pocket, the 2. So from here, I'm going to go ahead and instead of following forward, I'm going to draw the cue ball to the rail and try and leave it here and pocket the bank or leave it close. Obviously, on a pool table, you're going to pocket a lot of bank shots that you wouldn't on a snooker table. So it's a better game for the snooker table because you've got to play good speed control to have a follow-up shot. Now that's pretty good because I know that it's going to hang out in front of the pocket. But I'm pretty straight. So here's the hard part is I can't just shoot a stop shot. I've got to get the cue ball to a rail. And imagine if this was a snooker table. Pretty hard. My opponent is going to be going to the 3-hole. Probably leaving them on the head rail is good, but I don't want to get too fancy with it. I got to get a rail with the cue ball, or we'll get 5. I'll score a 5. So let's make sure we get a rail. Okay. So that's a 2. Red has 10, yellow has 9. Both are going to the 3. So from here, in order to do the 3-hole, this is a delicate shot. You need to overcut the bank so that the cue ball hits the rail here and then comes out in front of the side pocket. you need the cue ball to go to the bottom rail, or the side rail, bottom rail, and hopefully you'll have a cut shot. What so often happens is you understroke this and the object ball stops here. Now you've got a real delicate shot to try and bump it in front of the pocket and get the cue ball off the rail. So the side pockets are the toughest pockets, especially on a snooker table. Yeah, I don't even like that from here, but I'm going to go ahead and shoot it. There is another shot from here, but I'm going to try this one. I hit it too hard. See, this is a good example of how the game can get away from you, because I needed the cue ball to stop below the side pocket. So what do you do now? What you have to do now is undercut it to this pocket. You hit the side rail, the top rail, so that it comes back down to center table. The cue ball just comes across. So hopefully you'll have a follow-up shot. This is my second stroke. So you can see how important it is to play the speed control of the object ball and the cue ball on the same shot. And that's a 5. So, both players are playing horribly. This is the first time I've played Stymie in years. All right. Red is going to the 3-hole. Really delicate shot, because you want the cue ball to go to the bottom rail. You got to get a rail, but you don't want to hit it too hard where the 3-ball comes past the side pocket, which is what just happened to yellow. So I really want to overcut the bank. Like that. And on a snooker table, this is even harder. So, yeah, on a pool table, I can kind of go for this, because the cue ball might hit the point and come back if I miss it. But honestly, this is a tough shot. If I don't make it, I'm on my third stroke, and things could get real tough. Yeah, so because I hit that point, it got easy. If this was a snooker table, the ball might have hit the round and come over here. And now I'm on my third stroke, so it can get out of control real quick. Okay, my opponent is going to the 3-hole. I'm going to go ahead and follow to the side rail and up to the head rail and try and leave them tough. Okay, so that's a 2 for red. Red has 12. Yellow has 14 and is still going to that hole. This is a better angle. I just want to make sure that I overcut the bank and don't hit it so hard that it comes past the pocket. That's not bad. So now I can play a shot where I try and bounce the yellow ball softly just right up here, but I've got to hit it thinly to get the cue ball off the rail so I can cut it in the side pocket. So it's about speed control and direction of both balls. That's not bad. That's very good. Now, my opponent is going to be going to the 4-hole. So I don't want to leave the cue ball here, because they can just try and cut it in. So here's where you think, oh, I'll just go to the head rail and back down. And then the cue ball comes back down and scratches, and you score a 5, and you still are going to the 3-hole. So it can get out of control. It's a risk-reward thing. Do I really want to try and, is it worth it to try and play the cue ball tougher for my opponent? On a snooker table, it can be. On a pool table, it's not as much. So notice I'm hitting it. Oh, that's terrible, because my opponent can just cut it right in. I wanted it to come all the way down here to try and leave it tougher for my opponent. So I just gave my opponent a 1, or a chance at a 1. And I got a 3. Oh, wait. Yellow's going to the 3-hole, so this isn't bad. I forgot about that. Yellow's going to the 3-hole. So the shot here is a 3-railer, and you can make this 3-railer. The cue ball is going to go to this rail and come out. You don't want to hit it long, because if the 3-railer goes long, I don't have a shot. But if the 3-railer comes short, I'm likely to have I'm likely to be able to make it on my second stroke. That might, I hit it too long. So you see the danger of hitting it too long. Or too hard, because if I had hit it softer, I would have had an easy shot. So that's what's great about this game. You learn all these different bank shots and angles where you're controlling the speed and direction of both balls. So this is tough. What I'm going to do is I'm going to hit it super thin. Just try and bounce it off the rail and the cue ball to the head rail and out here with left English, and I should have a follow-up shot. Let's see. Let's see if I can pull it off. Yeah, that's the shot. Okay. Now, red is going to, where's red going? The 5-hole? I've lost track. I forget, and it doesn't matter because you get the idea. I think red made the 4-hole, and now red's going to the 5. Anywhere that I leave down on the bottom rail, red's going to have a bank shot to the 5-hole. Yeah, there's really no place that's perfect. So we'll go ahead and leave it, try and leave it down table anyway. Yeah, leaving the cue ball in the pocket they're going to is usually pretty good. So that's a 3 for yellow. So yellow has 17. And now red is going to the 5-hole, I think. So this is a tough one. You can either bank it 1 rail. It's going to be harder to control the cue ball. You can bank the red 2 rails. You go here with left English and try and get the red to come 2 rails down in this pocket, and the cue ball is going to go back and forth. I'm going to shoot that shot because I like that one. And this is a type of shot that can come up in 1 pocket. So I didn't hit that tight enough. Well, I did hit it tight enough. That's pretty darn good. So now I'm going to be able to get a 2. And my opponent is going here. So probably just best to get a rail and just leave the cue ball there. So that's a 2 for red. I think I messed up, but who's going to what pocket? But you get the idea. So now yellow is going to that pocket, to the 4. So you can either shoot a 3-railer and follow the cue ball to this rail and out, or you can bank it 1 rail and let the cue ball go back and forth. I think I like the 1 rail better. It's going to be slowing down coming at the pocket. I think it's a better choice. Well, I hit it bad. I love it. That's a great example of, I hit the bank shot bad because it came back this way instead of coming towards the pocket. So it's an example of how quickly this can go wrong. And like I said, be an expensive proposition. So from here, I just want to bank it 1 rail, and I want to hit the foot rail, draw the cue ball tight out of the corner back here so I have a follow-up shot. Hopefully I can score a 3 since I messed up the first shot. Well, now I'm going to have an easy follow-up shot. My opponent's going to the out hole, the 6. So I don't want to leave the cue ball there. Imagine on a tight snooker table. Now you've got to pocket that ball and move the cue ball out of there. And don't miss. I'm going to go ahead and pull the cue ball up table to try and make it hard for my opponent. Well, could have done better than that, but at least he's not straight in. So that was a 3 for yellow. So that's 20. Red has 17, so red's ahead. Yeah, this isn't easy. I can shoot the 3-railer into the 6 hole, but it's going to be a little bit difficult to hold the cue ball. I need to hold the cue ball here. But I don't think I can do it. I don't think I can shoot the 3-railer, but the cue ball is going to come out of the corner way up table. The other alternative would be the bank. Yeah, it's a tough one. The other alternative is to bank the red and just get the cue ball to the rail, and then you'll have a bank shot to the side pocket that you can play with some control. There's other shots. But those are the two. Let me think. What do I want to do? The other thing you can do is just cut it thin to the rail and let the cue ball hit the bottom rail, and then you'll have that shot to nudge it forward. What you don't want to do is shoot something dumb, because you can get it. 5 strokes seems like a lot, but you'd be surprised. This is actually a pretty tough position. I'm going to go ahead and just bank the red back up to center table, or below center table like here. And, yeah, if they passed each other, I might have had a cut shot into the pocket. So this is tough, because I got to get the cue ball to a rail. Yeah, this is not good. I might not get it. Yeah, this isn't great. All right, I'm going to shoot the bank shot, because the 3 ball won't travel far if I miss, and the cue ball should stay in the center of the table. The cue ball is going to go flying, but I have a chance of getting a 1 or getting a 2, and then maybe getting a 3. As long as I don't get a double kiss. Okay, so it's getting out of control. You see how I ended up with nothing. So that was 2 strokes. Now I'm on a 3, and I'm not very close to getting this. What I'm going to do is shoot the 3 ball to here, close to there, so it comes back up, and the cue ball to the rail here. Hope this doesn't get out of control. Now I hit it a little bit too soft. But you get the idea. If I hit a little bit harder, I'd have a much better shot. Now, you can't go for the cut shot. Actually, you could go for the double bank or cutting it thin. So cutting it thin, you've got to go to here and out, and then so the cue ball comes thin and out, so you have a reasonable shot. But this is my 4th stroke. So if I don't pocket the 3 ball in the next stroke, my turn's over, and then I've got to start over to try and get the 3 ball in that hole. Get off the rail 3, and that's going to work. Okay. So now I want to get a rail and don't scratch. So that's a 5 for red. So 5 has finished the game, and that's 22. Now, just so that you know, 22 is a very bad score. Even on a snooker table, people will play this a lot. They tend to get 12 to 15 is a really good score, because that's 2 to 3 strokes on average. You know, like 2.5 strokes per pocket on average. So red now has to make this pocket and this pocket. The score is 22 to 20. So, I mean, what yellow does. Yellow is behind by 2 points. So I have to pocket my ball in 2 pockets, and every single stroke I fall farther behind the opponent who's won the game. This is why, one of the reasons why it's called Stymie is because it can just really mess with your head. What I'm going to do here is bank the one ball close to this pocket so it comes over here, and then I can spin the cue ball out of the corner with right English, hopefully just to center table, so I'll have a follow-up shot in the 4-hole. Right English is your friend on this shot. Okay, I didn't hit it hard enough to get the one ball all the way over here. So now I'm just going to hit it softly. I'm going to bank the one ball over here. I don't want it to travel far, and I'm going to spin the cue ball out of the corner so I'll get a follow-up shot. Now I'll be able to get a 3, and I can play position. It's actually tricky. I can play position for a shot in that side pocket. But remember, I have to get a rail with the cue ball. You can't just shoot a stop shot. So that's a 3. Yellow now has... oh, I completely messed up the scores. Doesn't matter. I think you guys get the idea. So now yellow has to get the 6-hole, but you have to get the cue ball to a rail. I think I messed up the score, and I might have even messed up the balls, but I think I communicated the idea, the rules of how to play the game of Stymie. Give it a try. It's a great practice game by yourself. It's a great game heads up, even on a pool table, better on a snooker table. You better put in some time before you get involved in a ring game. Even players, I've seen ring games, I've been on the losing end of ring games and the winning end, even playing for $1 a point. Because if it's a 6-handed ring game, you finish last, you're going to owe this guy $12, this one $10, this one $15, this one $8. It adds up fast. You can so it's a great game to really steel your nerve and get good at controlling the speed of the object ball and the cue ball on the same shot. Really help your rotation game when playing position and your safety game. Give Stymie a try, and I'll see you next week on Rack of the Week.